This is Vedic Ghost. This video is going to be about my actual thoughts on women in this day and age, because I know the manager always catches flack for hating women. And the sad part about that, I will admit there are some in the manosphere who do hate women. I particularly don't hate women because I took psychology, so I just particularly don't hate women. I always approach it from a psychological or a father standpoint when it comes to women. I typically look at women and say, when it comes to it in a society, I'm not mad at women for being women at the end of the day. Women are always going to be women. Being mad at a woman for doing what she does and making the decisions that she do would be like if you were in India and you were mad at a tiger for attacking from behind because you forgot to put your mask on, basically, behind you. If anybody knows that reference, pretty much you've been to India, or you would know that tigers attack from the back for all intents and purposes. This is particularly why they always put masks in the back of them. It's basically a practice so you won't be attacked by tigers, and it pretty much confuses the tigers, and they're less likely to be attacked by the tiger. So they particularly put like masks and hats backwards, basically. They'll put a mask on the back of their head, and they'll put their hat on backwards, and the tiger won't really attack them. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's sometimes, every now and again, a tiger will, but particularly, tigers pretty much only attack when they think the prey's not looking, for all intents and purposes. Particularly, less work, less struggle, you know the deal. So I basically view women in that same light, like a tiger attacking you from the back because you don't have the proper mask on to protect yourself. The irony to it is, the reason why I see it that way is because all this stuff that we talk about, women hypergamy, all this other stuff, it's basically women being women unchecked. Like I've said multiple times in a stream, whether you like it or not, women are going to be women if they're not checked at the end of the day. Women are going to be women if there's no laws governing them like the rest of the people in the society at the end of the day. They're just going to just run wild for all intents and purposes. That's nothing negative against women. It is what it is. If you don't hold women to the same accountability as men, or you don't make them take accountability for their actions, you're particularly going to get women who literally do the stuff that they're doing now that you see in public, where they're walking around acting like men, and then when something happens, when they pop off at the mouth to get hit, and all of a sudden now they want to be treated like a woman now. But 5 seconds ago, they wanted to act like a man. But now that they got knocked on their ass, they want to be treated like a woman, if you know what I mean. And that's particularly how it works. I've never been mad at women for being women. I'm mad at men for letting it get this far, yeah. I'm mad at men for not putting their foot down yet to actually make it happen at the end of the day. I'm mad at men for handing over the kings to the kingdom and being manipulated into this lie of, victimhood mentality at the end of the day. The sad part about that is, if you look at it in this day and age, women are 10 times more unhappy than they were years before. It's sad, but it's true. And it's not one of those things where you can literally say, well, all these women are happy when in fact all these women are unhappy. I was watching a TikTok video with a woman who was pissed because she's shoveling gravel. Matter of fact, I think Hammerhand actually had that in one of his videos as well too, where a woman was shoveling gravel and she's pissed as hell because she has to shovel gravel and she doesn't want the equality. She wants to be a housewife. She wants to be in the house cooking, cleaning, this, that, and the other. She doesn't want to do this work, basically. The same thing goes for my grandmother, even though she doesn't live here. She's from Costa Rica. She said in that quote, "I'm not one of them goofy bitches that's burning her bras outside. I'm going to need you to treat me like a lady." Literally her words. My grandmother, mom's side, wants to be treated like a lady. She doesn't want this shit, basically. The irony to it is, I talked about it multiple times. My grandmother, mom's side, literally worked in a steel mill. When she left the steel mill, she was a lady. When she worked at the steel mill, she wanted to be treated like the men at the steel mill. The irony to it is, apparently, according to a lot of the people at the steel mill, my grandma literally put in work like she was a man, basically. She put in the same amount of work that a man did at the end of the day. And she deserved every bit of pay that she got. She deserved Every bit of raise that she got, she deserved everything she got. She didn't sleep. She didn't sleep her way to the top, or nor did she get on her knees to get to the top to where she was at the end of the day. She literally worked in a steel mill to raise her children. And back in the day, steel mills used to give good money. So it's not the fact that I don't dislike women. What I dislike when it comes to women is the lack of accountability. That's the only thing I dislike when it comes to women. If you want equality, you should have to sign up for selective draft just like men do. It is what it is, whether you like it or not. If you want equality, I think the law should be changed where if you do the same crime that a man does, you should serve the same time as a man does at the end of the day, whether you like it or not. I also believe because what I've noticed lately is with this nice little rise in female teachers messing with children, and a couple of them actually got a slap on the wrist. Some of them actually got probation, and some of them only served like 1 or 2 years with some probation, basically, and they get to keep their teaching license. I think they should lose their teaching license, and I think they should go on the register list at the end of the day. That's just me, though. There's a lot of people that believe that as well, too, that they should go on the sexual predators registry list if they do this stuff. It's sad and it's true. Another thing that I found funny about it is how these women can literally mess with young boys, have their babies, and then have their parents paying child support for that baby. I don't understand how that actually works. I don't understand how that's actually legal in a court of law. How are parents taking responsibility for a 14-year-old, a 13-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old, and paying child support to a grown-ass woman who should have known better than to mess with a young boy? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. How did she get to keep her child after literally doing that? Like, think about that. She messes with a child, underage boy, and somehow, some way, when she delivers her baby, she's on probation and she gets to keep her child. Well, let that have been a man. That wouldn't have panned out too well. He'd have probably never got to see a child a day in his life. He probably wouldn't even be allowed to look at children's cartoons. Let's just keep it 100. But it is what it is in society, and it sucks. And people treat people differently or as such at the end of the day, whether they like it or not. But to get back to the main topic, I don't have any ill will, nor am I angry with, nor am I agitated with women at the end of the day. I'm agitated with the men for letting it get this far. I'm agitated with the men who were manipulated into the bullshit, basically. I can't be mad at a woman for being woman-based nature at the end of the day, like I said in the beginning. They're women. That'd be like me being mad in India at a tiger that attacked me from the back because I forgot to put on my mask behind my head and turn my hat backwards, basically, to make it look like I'm looking at the tiger. Because particularly, tigers typically, if you know anything about tigers, they attack from the back when you're not looking for all intents and purposes. So if you have a mask on or some type of face on the back of your head, they particularly don't really attack you. They get confused and they walk away for all intents and purposes, or they see it as a hard catch, basically. I mean, now if they're really hungry, they'll go above and beyond to get you, yeah, but particularly it saves you from being attacked a large amount of the times at the end of the day. So, like, it's kind of like the analogy I always use with lions at the zoo. If a lion's hungry at the zoo and a human being just so happen to jump over the gate and get attacked by the lion, it's not the lion's fault. It's that human being's fault for stepping over the damn gate, and it's the zoo's fault for not feeding the lion, at the end of the day. So I can't be mad at a lion for being hungry and eating something if it was hungry. I can't be mad at a lion for being a lion in captivity. He's always going to be a lion, whether you like it or not. A gorilla is going to be a gorilla in captivity. A lion is going to be a lion in captivity. A wolf is going to be a wolf in captivity. Painted dogs are going to be painted dogs in captivity. It is what it is. So at the end of the day, women are going to be women in captivity. Y'all have a blessed day. Be good. Treat yourselves like milk. Do nothing but spoil yourselves. And always make yourself a better version of yourselves. And always try to strive to be a better version of you every day, every hour, every day, every waking moment. Always try to be a better version of yourself. This is Vedic Ghost. Adios.